Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir. And folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at Box 3 Motorsports. My name is Adam Thursby. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you. It's going to show up. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Happy holidays to everyone joining us. Hope you're having yourselves a great weekend. The Matadors a Monza today. We are have another spec race coming, the Super Trofeo. And we don't have a ton of drivers, but that's okay. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's Monza, so we all know how T1 is. And these cars, I've never driven this Lamborghini, but my understanding is there's a lot more power there, but it's a little more unstable. So I'll be curious to see how the drivers handle this today as we just sit around and wait for the server reboot to happen. While we do that, let's talk about it, because there will be no coverage here next weekend. There is a race happening, but I won't be able to cover that, and there will be no coverage here. But coming up on December 17th, so in 2 weeks time, actually a little less than 2 weeks, it's on Saturday, we will be running the 6 hours at Suzuka with Trackalicious and 949 Sim Racing. everybody coming together for that series, the GT3 Endurance Series. January kicks off with Kyalami for a 6-hour, and then we're back in February for a 12 hours at Mount Panorama. The Kyalami you'll want to watch over at the Trackalicious Twitch channel, but Panorama is going to be right here for a full 12 hours. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. So much fun. And as you saw, we are currently running iRacing open wheel holiday shenanigans. The USF 2000 race went yesterday at Lime Rock. I was unfortunately not able to attend, but next Saturday, the Dallara DW12 at the Charlotte Oval will keep that season moving forward. So can't wait for that. I'm having a lot of fun running with those guys, and we're gonna have a lot more iRacing coming at Box3 Motorsports starting in the new year. We've just got to get some things arranged. We've brought some people on board who are going to help us. It's going to be fantastic. I absolutely can't wait. All kinds of different series that we're going to be running starting in January. So you're going to have something to do quite a few days of the week if you're an iRacing fan and want to join us over at Box 3. Exclamation box in the chat will get you to our Discord. As we just wait here again for another moment, this should be up. I'm hoping. Looks like it's up. See if we can connect and get it. Get our software set and ready to go to cover this race today. 12 drivers so far. There we go. 12 drivers so far. Let's get out of our menus. Get things switched around. John Tracy joins us back today. Stick with car numbers today because we know everybody's in Trofeos. All right, folks. Get ready for racing. Somebody said something about a race involving the Lamborghini Stupid Potato, and I got curious. Well, here we go. The Matadors de Monza kicks off today. The Monza circuit. There you have it. 15 drivers on track so far. Tudor Shooter. I don't know who that is, but he's with us. Tom Foose coming back for another race this week. Always fun to watch Tom. Very speedy. Jarrett Skinner out on track today in the number 96 car. Kevin Huffman in the 67. We actually get to see him drive today. It has been a minute to catch Mr. Kevin Huffman on track, but it's good to see him come back. Island boy John Tracy returns this week at Monza. Rob Kesar out of his element and not in that Porsche that he's normally driving. Kept the number though to 992. So we'll keep an eye on him today. Robert Hepburn returning in the number 460 car. Don't forget, folks, exclamation pit wall in the chat if you want to watch live timing of today's race. I did just get that connected, so you should be all set. Leonard Beckham, the number 4. Brandon Davis with us today. Always some new drivers with these races. Some folks that we haven't necessarily seen drive with Box before, so it's interesting to have these cars come out, have these drivers come out, and to do these spec races. Again, it's a way to, we didn't want to start a season right here at the end of the year. And you see, I mean, we got 15 drivers. Normal seasonal race, we have anywhere from 20 to 30 drivers on track. So obviously, a lot of people have holiday things going on, getting together with family, friends, all of that stuff. So we said, let's throw down, let's do some spec races. And this is some of the things we came up with. Last week was Porsches on Mount Panorama. And this week we've got Lamborghini Super Trofeos at Monza. Gaspar Baratella, the number 203 car, and decides to dump us back to the pits. Alex Nunez, the number 64 today. Sebastian Freund. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. If TG's watching, I'm sure he'll know. I do not see Mr. Brannigan this week. Nightcore, I'm not sure why. Harold Koppelman, the number 17 Trofeo. Now, drivers could pick either Trofeo. They had to pick one of the Trofeo, the Evo or the Evo 2. Beyond that, that's it. They had to pick one of those two cars. Humphrey Wangle Snatcher returns. It's been a minute for Mr. Wangle Snatcher on a Box 3 track. He's in the number 6 today. Justin Sacombe, we saw him last week in the Porsche with DJ Boxer right there just joining the server. Same thing, we saw him out on track last week. That was decent. Copeland. Okay. Is it okay? So do I have to go more long like Copeland? Is that better? I don't know. I knew if you were watching you were going to call me out, and it's okay. I'm all right with that. I'm down with it. You already see Tom Foose with a 150, 157. And he is up by about 2/10 right now. And you can see turn one, the barriers in turn one already destroyed. Go on board with Tom Foose for a minute. Check out a lap here at Monza. Even your boy Blue hasn't come back this week, Michael. Can you believe it? I think he got scared off after the Porsches last week and just said, you know what? I'm happy to organize this stuff, but I just can't drive something different than the Bentley anymore. Baratella and Wangle Snatcher coming together. Another new driver, Peter Kaspergen, in the pits right now. TG is going to have so many opportunities to yell at me today. It's going to be off the hook. Jeroen Jongen. I'm trying, TG. Don't see Ridian either. No, Ridian's taking a break right now. He's taking a little bit of a break. That's okay. Got love for the man. He'll be back. Alex Nunez now breaking into the 149s, and John Tracy now jumps up there with a 149.3 in this practice session. Just about 3 minutes left to go here. Folks, something else I need to mention. We are still raising money for Extra Life Children's Miracle Network hospital charities across the United States and Canada. Please, exclamation charity in the chat if you can help. We would love for you to support the team of people we've put together that can help provide some funds to that great organization. Huffman not yet able to set a lap. Doesn't look like Huff has come out yet. So we've only got a few drivers so far that have set what I would call valid laps. You know, Rob Keesar's in the pits right now with a 252 as his fastest. Herod Korpelman now jumps up there into P6 with a 156.7. So again, we're talking about valid laps, the top 6 drivers right now sitting up there. Everybody hitting that 149, 150 range. So once qual gets started, can't wait to see. That does not even help a little bit, TG. It's not even a little bit. I know you're trying hard, man, but that didn't help, I promise. So John Tracy right now, the fastest driver today. Down to 18 drivers on track. Great to see for a spec race, a one-off, I don't want to call it a one-off casual race. Awesome to see this many people come together during this time of year and do this. Tracy beating his own. Oh no, not quite beating his own time, but now Alex Nunez currently sitting in second. Just starting a new lap and up by 1 or 2 tenths. We'll see if he can hold on to it. Now Alex Nunez a little bit slower than he probably wants to be. But with this practice session coming to a close, the real action is going to be during qualification. 19 drivers now joining us. Adam Kazmarski the latest joiner. So now, with 19 drivers on track, it's going to get curious. One thing to keep in mind about these spec races, we talked about it last week during the Bathurst race. There's no class system here. So there's no pro, there's no silver, there's no AM. We have drivers of all different abilities, all competing to win this race, right? Now, what we learned at Bathurst last week was, yes, there are faster and slower drivers, of course. We saw some 5 to 7 second lap time differences. And that's okay, because again, without classing, you're going to have that, right? The interesting thing to me is this race going to be better or worse than Bathurst? Bathurst was good because the majority of incidents we saw were people doing it to themselves. There was no, I mean, don't get me wrong, there were some 2-car accidents, 3 cars, you know, 1 or 2. But the point being is the vast majority of what we saw were people throwing themselves into the wall at the top of the hill or coming back down, blowing through a corner off the long back straight, things of that nature. Monza is a different beast. It is not Mount Panorama, right? Mount Panorama, you're fighting other drivers as much, you're fighting the mountain as much as you're fighting other drivers. Where I feel like here, this is a driver battle. Nunez, let's watch Nunez come around to finish this out as practice comes to an end. Nunez with, he's up about 3/10 right now. Is he going to be able to maintain that? See if he can get ahead of John Tracy, currently sitting in first. Now, Tracy's certainly a speedy driver at Box 3. He's not a slouch by any means, much faster than I am, but I don't know that he's Tom Foose fast. So, you know, those two off by about 1/10 right now from each other. It is a rugby scrum into turn 1, and that's where it's going to get very, very curious. Very, very curious. Because we all know exactly how turn 1 at Monza can be. As Tom Foose is going to open it up immediately, get himself out on track right away. We're here for 15-minute qualification and then 70 minutes of racing. 1 mandatory pit stop for both tires and fuel during the course of this race. Jarrett Skinner heading out. Rob Kesar now out on track. Tudor Shooter coming out. My real hope, you know, Nycor, talking about T1 here at Monza, is that A, don't let this be a public lobby situation, right? That's not what we want here. That's not how we race at Box 3. Number 2, though, is how many drivers are going to look to take the runoff and just try and get out alive, and the rest of it works itself out. Again, it's a 70-minute race. In real life, not an endurance race. Endurance races are typically 3 hours plus, right? But 70 minutes is a long time, and blasting someone into T1 does not help you win the race. Surviving T1 and putting yourself in a good position over those who don't is a good way to win this race. No LFM lobby T1 tactics, yeah. Listen, you get 3 warnings, just saying. If it were me, I might take the runoff, and not to be faster, not to get out in front because I couldn't maintain that position, but more to just avoid the mayhem, right? I don't care if I come out 1 or 2 spots lower than where I went into the runoff. If it means I didn't get blasted into lap 1 T1 and have to go back to the pits immediately, I'm a happy guy. So Tom Foose now on a flying lap. And T1 already blasted here during the qualifying session. have scrubbed that one a little. We'll have to wait and see if a time comes up from Mr. Foose. As I said, Jarrett Skinner out on track. Look at that livery. That is something fancy right there. Wow. Number 96 car, Jarrett Skinner. Kevin Huffman leaves the pits for the first time today. Been a while since we've seen Mr. Huffman on track, so it'll be good to see him out there today. Baratella and Kazmarski coming together. Now both back into the pits. We know Foose was the first one out on track, so let's go check in with him, see what kind of time we get. There you go, 1:49.392 from Tom Foose on his first flying lap of today's qualifying session. Still 11 minutes left to go. Jarrett Skinner, though, beating him out with a 3:55. That escalated quickly. These guys... So is anybody going to push below 149 today during qual? That's the question. Can anybody sneak it down there? Jarrett Skinner currently leading us until I say something, and then Alex Nunez jumps in with our new fastest lap of a 1:49.347, beating him out by about 0.7. Two drivers there in the back chasing each other down. A lot of late drivers today. As I said, Adam Kazmarski, the number 71 car, is out on track now. And Seb Libra joins us in the number 72, still sitting in the pits. May decide to sit that one out. Let's catch up with Nunez. Currently on another flying lap. Tom Foose right now showing 0.4 up, which would drop him right back into first. As he comes around, 0.3. See if he can hold it. And a new pole sitter, Tom Foose, 1:49.012. As I said, is anybody going to break into the 148s today? Spec race here, Trofeo only. Evo 1 and 2s, or Evo and Evo 2s, I should say. Folks, I'm going to take opportunity before the start of this race to take a few moments of break. We were here for 70 minutes after this qualifying session. When I get back, we'll be ready to walk the grid. Again, don't forget we are here for charity. You can head over to you can hit exclamation charity in the chat. No doubt you can do some good this holiday season. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. And I will be right back. Keep an eye on your screen, and we will walk the grid when we return. Here we see Beckman and Draws now coming together during qualifying. Alex Nunez, our first driver to break into that 148s while I was gone, off 148.5. Smoked it out during this qual session. Nunez very speedy in these trofeos. Tom Foose still with that 149.012. So some interesting racing up front here, because if you look at our top 6 drivers, all in that 149. I know we got a 148 in there, but my point stands, especially here at Monza, because the guy that starts at pole at Monza doesn't necessarily get away free. A lot of other tracks that happens, right? A lot of other tracks, like let's talk about Spa, or we talk about Brands and places like that, where when the flag drops, when the green flag drops and we take off, that first corner, right? That first corner is a faster corner. The guy that pole positions really has an opportunity to get way out there because he's not caught up in the traffic behind, right? Okay. But not at Monza, because at Monza, everybody has to come down to enter that chicane. And so whoever starts in pole position is not necessarily going to escape anything during the course of this race. But top 6 drivers, all sub 150. And then even our mid-pack 150s trailing for about 4 drivers all the way back to P10. I think that's going to get spicy today at Monza. He and Foose have almost the same livery. Yeah, they do. Very close. Foose's livery reminds me of a certain 3-time esports champion Brian Canopin's livery for the Audi. Very similar. Everybody now starting to head into the pits. About just under 4 minutes left to go in today's qualifying session. A few drivers back here towards the rear who have not yet set times. Justin Sacombe, I'm going to screw it up. And as I say that, because Marski sets a 151.2. But Justin Sacombe, Yongen? Is that a hard G or a soft G? TG. Yongen? I'm going to screw it up. I can't help myself. And Seb Libra not having yet set times. Kopelman and Sebastian Freund both with 155s. We'll see where these guys sit during the course of today's race. And it's always so hard to tell, because with these hard G, thank you. With these spec races that we're doing right now, we have stewarding after the race. We will have stewarding, but it's still a casual race. And again, with no classing, do we have people who are coming in and sandbagging, or do they honestly, do people honestly struggle? And now Michael Libra joining us. So now 21 drivers on track today. It just gets confusing and curious. With the new drivers, you don't know their actual pace. If this were all Box 3 regulars, I could call out the grid easily. But with so many unknowns, you don't know. Is somebody coming in and saying, you know what, kind of want to start at the back because I really don't want to get hung up at Monza in T1? Or are they that speed? Kaspar Baratella jumping up into P2 with a 148.9, now getting ahead of Tom Foose. Jarrett Skinner, P4. Leonard Beckman and John Tracy all breaking the 150 mark. Baratella decides to warm the tires up on this lap. Just about 1 minute left for these guys to set times. Nobody's showing... Leonard Beckman, actually Tudor Shooter right now in 7th, showing a half a second jump. Let's see where it places him as he comes across. And there you go. Gets into that 149 club with a 149.470, getting himself into the top 5. But Beckman may be looking to strike back with right now running 3/10 up. That would get him back ahead of Shooter. Oh, and that's not going to happen today, sir. I would say that lap is over. Jarrett Skinner running a 10th up on his fastest. Now 3/10. Is it going to be enough to jump Foose? I don't think it is. Yeah, Jarrett Skinner going to stay in P4. Lost some time coming through Parabolica. Couldn't hold on to that 3/10 jump. DJ Boxer currently sitting in 14th in the number 66 car. About a 10th up. We come to the end of qual. What is going on here? Whole bunch of contact back here for drivers still on track. Let's go, Huff. Thank you, sir. Very much appreciated. Man, the myth, the legend. Huff Manic out there driving today. John Tracy. We baguette, sir. You can't do it. Let's go as qualification runs down. Get ready for today's race. 70 minutes at Monza in nothing but Super Trofeo cars. Oui baguette. What am I doing here? All right, let's get swatted out. Let's talk now. So Alex Nunez with that one, not the only 148. Casper Baratella able to set a 148 along with Leonard Beckman right here towards the end of today's qual session. So Alex Nunez and Caspar Baratella going to share row 1. Leonard Beckman, Tom Foose in row 2. Jarrett Skinner and Shooter in row 3. Island Boy himself, John Tracy and Robert Hepburn, row 4. Humphrey Wangle-Snatcher and Kevin Huffman. Kevin Huffman coming back to racing here at Box 3. It's been quite a little while, getting himself into the top 10 for this Super Trofeo spec race today. Rob Kiesar, Peter Kasbergen in row 6. Adam Kazmarski and DJ Box are going to share row 7. Seb Libra and Brandon Draws in row 8. Jongen, yep, and Kopelman. Those are the two. It's broken, TJ or TG. Gonna share row 9. Sebastian Frond, Justin Sacombe, and Michael Libra bring up the back of this grid today. 21 drivers on track at Monza. So we wait for this session to close out, and we get ready for racing today. And don't forget, folks, 6 hours of Suzuka coming up in just under 2 weeks on December 17th at 4 p.m. UTC. I think that's about 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern Standard. I don't have it off the top of my head. But that's okay, because you're going to be able to watch it all right here at Box 3 Motorsports. And once Season 5 returns in the new year, Recovery Drive will return on Wednesdays as well, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will remain Eastern Standard Time. Race reviews, next race, rig roast, chilling out with some good people. It's always a fun time. And if you're an iRacing driver, join us for our open wheel holiday shenanigans in the Dallara DW12 next week at the Charlotte Oval. That'll take place on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will finish out the year during the week on Thursdays, December 22nd, December 29th, to avoid the holidays. The IRL4 at Tsukuba. And the Formula V at a track yet to be announced. Plenty to do at Box 3 Motorsports, and there is the Discord link for anybody that might have been looking for it. As we said, Alex Nunez is going to lead the way into T1 at Monza, which hopefully doesn't turn into an abomination. We don't need that. This is not a public lobby. He shares row 1 with Kaspar Baratella. Leonard Bachmann, Tom Foose in row 2. Jarrett Skinner, shooter, row 3. John Tracy and Rob Hepburn. The number 460 car, row 4. Humphrey Wangle Snatcher and Kevin Huffman side by side in row 5. Rob Kiesar, Peter Kaspergen. Kaspergen, probably. Row 6. Adam Kazmarski, DJ Boxer in row 7. Seb Libra, Brandon Draws in row 8. Jongen Kopelman in row 9. Sebastian Front, Justin Sacombe, row 10. And Michael Libra bringing up the rear. All Super Trofeos. Hard to control. A little difficult for folks. But let's see how we do at Monza today. We get our formation lap together. If you would like to race with Box 3 Motorsports, be sure an exclamation box in the chat to get our Discord. You can get over there and get signed up. We have another race, as far as I know, coming up next week. Another casual spec race here before the holidays. Season 5 kicking off in January of 2023. Nunez leading us out. $70 minutes of race time. 1 mandatory pit stop required for both tires and fuel from our drivers today. Kaspar Baratella right there behind Nunez. So I'm wondering if I shouldn't take direct control of the camera and go to controller controls and just park myself over T1. I wonder, but then I don't want to. But it's always possible that it's a good idea. Again, coming back to that number 96, Jarrett Skinner, that livery is just some kind of crazy. Oh, number 69, Tudor Shooter right behind him. drivers dropping into double file to get ready for the start of this race today. We are here for 70 minutes. 21 drivers on track at Monza. And that is an image right there. 21 Super Trofeo Lamborghinis coming around the corner to get ready to go live at Monza today. Green, green, green. Down into T1 we go. We will stick with our front runners, and we are getting spicy already. Look at this bumper to bumper action. Hey, let's go 3 wide into T1. Why not? Leonard Beckman making the jump, and look at that. Just blows through Nunez and Baratella. Very clean T1 back there. A little bumping and grinding, but nothing too crazy as Beckman takes up T1 just like that, right down between the two of them. Nunez and Baratella unable to shut him down. Tom Foose and Jarrett Skinner now are going to battle back here. What a pass by Beckman right out the gate. Nunez looking to close in immediately, though. Says, oh, this will not stand, sir. Nunez now coming down the straight. He's going to have that outside line. Looks like Nunez has the jump on this one, though, as he takes up that first spot. Beckman taking it right back through Parabolica, though. Oh, this is how we're rolling today. And we are going to head back down into T1 on lap 2 the same way we started. Alex Nunez leading out with Beckman right there. Beckman able to outbrake Nunez into T1, and not quite that time, though. It has to take the runoff. And not going to be able to get himself back up to speed. Nunez reclaiming P1. Now Baratella maybe looking to get P2 back from him. Let's check on Hepburn and Wangle Snatcher. Oh, and Baratella. Whoa, Baratella and Beckman coming together. Baratella dropping back to P5 from it. Now Beckman in second. Tom Foose and Jarrett Skinner are going to apply pressure. And himself. You're not wrong, TG. Definitely outbraked him on lap 1, but lap 2 he got a little greedy with it. Just a scotch, just a tad greedy. Now Beckman under pressure from Foose for P2. Baratella and Skinner not that far back though. Kazmarski and Libra now come together. Libra dropping back hard. Beckman leading a line of Foose. Whoa, and Skinner taking up. You guys are all over. We gotta go wide into. My goodness, Jarrett Skinner having to take the runoff. Dropping 2 positions so far. Baratella and Foose. catch back up with Beckman and Foose, though. Foose closing that gap. Also keep an eye back there on Shooter and Hepburn for P6. Rob Keystar and John Tracy coming together for P11 back a little further. And Hepburn makes the jump on Shooter. Let's jump back real quick and take a look. Shooter heading off into the grass, giving Hepburn the opportunity to pick up P6. Tom Foose with the inside, but not quite enough. Let's see the run down into T1 for these two now. Foose looking for every opportunity and just not quite able to find one. Oh my, though. Beckman struggling through the chicane, and now Tom Foose able to take up P2. Question is, he's going to be able to hold on to it. Now Beckman going to look for the gap. Meanwhile, Alex Nunez up front just running away with this so far. A 4-second gap back to Tom Foose in second. Nunez having gotten clean air. Still a tremendous start to this race because, I mean, Beckman just took it right to Baratella, and Nunez was able to shoot right between them heading into T1 on the first lap. Was really a great pass to watch, and now Beckman under pressure from Baratella as Tom Foose tries to cement his P2. Jarrett Skinner yellow flagged and now dropping back hard. Oh, and Skinner, yeah, not having a good time back here. Let's back it up, spinning himself out. And now having to wait. Whip back around. Skinner ending up in 12th with Kazmarski right there to challenge for it. Jarrett Skinner, after spinning, ending up in 12th. We'll see whether or not Kazmarski can take that P12 from him. Meanwhile, Beckman, Baratella coming together for P3 right now. Baratella must be frustrated right now. Beckman dead even on the day in P3, but Baratella down 2 spots. Started this race in second. Now sitting in 4th. Cannot be pleased with that. But we've got a battle back here for 13th. It's a calm Kazmarski putting pressure on Jongen. Baratella Struggling. Whoa, Baratella not having a good time right now. Something happened. Looking to take the runoff. Beckman now able to take up position. Tom Foose all the way into second after all this conundrum. But you'll notice the only flagged car is the 203 of Baratella. There was no contact made with another vehicle there. So Tom Foose takes up P2 now with Leonard Beckman in third. And now Baratella still down 2 spots in fourth, but wow. Things are getting spicy at Monza. Kazmarski and Sacombe. Identical liveries, decided to drive together. And no numbers on the side of the car. That makes it extremely easy to know who is who. Kazmarski leading out, Justin Sacombe right there behind him. Number 71 and 65 respectively. Sacombe making the move. And able to get himself out in front of Adam Kazmarski. For only a second, though. Oh, and Kazmarski eating a lot of curb there through that kind of high-speed chicane, and Justin Sacombe able to pull away and get a full second on him now. Robert Hepburn and Shooter. Got to take a look at P3 though. Baratella applying pressure to Beckman. Just under an hour left to go here at Monza. Already some fantastic racing today. Jarrett Skinner getting around Rob Keesar for P11. Now Peter Kaspergen and John Tracy duking it out for P9. Kaspergen holding on for now, and a little bit of contact between the two of them. Luckily, nothing to send anybody off track as Tudor Shooter and Robert Hepburn trade positions. Shooter taking up P5 as John Tracy looking to the inside as he comes up and able to make the move on Kaspergen. A lot of great races so far today. Much like last week, unable to keep up. Kaspar Baratella not quite able to hold on to Beckman as we come down into T1 one more time. Beckman in that number 4 Trofeo. Kaspar Baratella in the number 203 right behind him. And another battle here, Hepburn and Shooter. These guys continually changing spots. Humphrey Wangle Snatcher wants to take advantage of this. Shooter able to pull ahead. Oh no, that's not good. Off into the grass goes Hepburn. Gonna lose position to Wangle Snatcher. Kevin Huffman getting around. So Hepburn with some space to make up, but Wangle Snatcher is now going to be under pressure from Huffman. Huffman able to clear him. Number 8 car, Kevin Huffman. What is it with the almost identical liveries today? Huffman really finding his groove in these Lamborghinis. Currently up into 6th. Kaspar Baratella taking over P3 from Leonard Beckman. Baratella and Beckman again making a little bit of contact. A little bit of door banging. Nothing too serious. But Baratella takes the runoff across the tarmac to see if he can gain some space. I don't think he was looking to get ahead, but more just make sure these guys weren't going to beat each other through the chicane. That's what I figured, TG, and not a lot of people drive these, so yeah, they're not going to have made liveries and such, making it difficult. But Kevin Huffman and Humphrey Wangle Snatcher back and forth, and now Kevin Huffman falls back to Hepburn and John Tracy. So Huff having a great day and now just lost 3 spots. Justin Scombe takes up P12 over Peter Kaspergen. Kaspar Baratella with trouble and making contact. Let's back that up real quick and take a look. A push right there from Leonard Beckman. That will look to be contested. I have no doubt Beckman should be giving that spot back after a knock like that, but it does happen. As John Tracy, Robert Hepburn battle it out, headed down into T1. Led by Humphrey Wangle Snatcher. Kevin Huffman again dropping 3 spots in the last lap. Garrett Skinner now dropping back behind these guys. Wangle Snatcher and John Tracy about to come together. There he goes, John Tracy able to pick up P6. Wangle Snatcher with contact. Beckman and Baratella, though, are about to duke it out once more. As Beckman jumps into the top 3 with that move. Some great driving from these guys today, especially at Monza. We know what public lobbies can be like, right? So I would not disagree, TG. Oh, and Kevin Huffman yellow flagged and dropping behind Skinner. Check in with Huff real quick. Must have headed off track. Now Hepburn looking to take out Wangle Snatcher, but so far no luck. So much great racing today. Beckman again showing contact. Back it up real quick and see if we can catch something here. Once in a while it gets a little flaky, so you gotta wonder, right? It looks like that was the case here. But Leonard Beckman holding on to P3 right now over Kaspar Baratella. Humphrey Wangle Snatcher picking up P7 over Robert Hepburn. And we haven't seen Humphrey Wanglesnatcher on track with Box 3 in a while. But now having a decent race today, up 2 spots already to P7. Soon going to set his sights on John Tracy Island Boy. Take a look at the background action. Harald Klopperman. Klopperman. Getting ahead of Sebastian Freund. Freund taking it back very quickly though. Now Rob Hepburn able to get ahead of Jarrett Skinner. But both drivers are going to apply pressure to Wanglesnatcher. Order O with the double. Oh, and contact made there between Hepburn. It's like Hepburn and Kesar. No, sorry, Hepburn and Skinner. A little door banging through the chicane. Kevin Huffman, Justin Sacombe into the pits now. Oh, and Hepburn pushing a little too hard through that chicane. Now Skinner able to take up a 3-second lead. Baratella coming back towards Beckman. We are going to see this all day. Unless the pit stops separate these guys by a significant amount, this battle is going to continue all afternoon. But Baratella goes wide. Beckman's got some breathing room. I don't think it's going to last. I really don't. And now it's Kazmarski. As DJ Boxer tightens up on the back of Kazmarski. Gaspar Baratella heading into the pits. Now, given how little contact we've seen, I have to assume, as Skinner gets around Wanglesnatcher, I have to assume this is going to be to clear Baratella's pit stop. I don't think he would have had enough damage to justify going in this early. So maybe looking to you know, overcut, get it done early, get back out on track, and then hang out for the 45 minutes or 46 minutes that'll be left once that pit stop's complete. And Leonard Beckman now parked on the side of the track. And diving back to the pits. Wow. But we definitely didn't see any contact from Beckman or with Beckman that I think would have justified that. So possibly a hardware issue? Looks like a hardware issue, if I had to guess. Run with Koppelman. Koppelman. Try to be quicker. You said shorter, so you know, Koppelman. Either way, we're going through T1. Harald going to take over a little bit, but Freund able to get the inside and hold on. My goodness. Wait a minute. Is that? Okay. KB, they can pit. There's no pit window for this race. No, they can pit basically whenever they want. Now, both these drivers letting Kaspar Baratella around. Baratella, one of our fast ones, has been holding up front today, but let's stick with right here with Freund and Harald Koppelman. But hold up. E3, tutor shooter, and island boy, John Tracy himself. through the chicane. John Tracy in the number 3 has that inside line. Able to get around Shooter. But John Tracy taking up P3 now. What is that for him today? Let's take a look. 4 spots on the day thus far. Just under 45 minutes left to go in today's race. While we have a moment, let's take a look at the position deltas for everybody. Tom Foose up 2 spots into number 2. John Tracy, Island Boy there on your screen, is currently sitting in 3rd. Up 4 positions, having a great race. However, Sebastian Freund up 6 spots on the day. Baratella the one suffering. However, looks to have cleared that pit stop. You got to remember, everybody in front of Baratella has got to go into the pits yet. So it doesn't do us a lot of good to look at these position deltas until pit stops are all cleared. It gives us some indicator. Seb Libra yellow flagged and sitting on track. Trying to get it running. Looks like a self spin there. A lot of great racing today. 21 drivers on track to start us. We're left with 18 so far. But that has not given us a lack of action. That is for sure. Absolutely bonkers out there today in these Super Trofeo or Lamborghinis. Evos, Evo 2s at Monza. So, of course, the 2 drivers' names I'm really struggling with are the 2 that keep coming together. Brendan Koppelman. Sebastian leading right now in that number 68 car. Harold not giving up. I think this is the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen these 2 come together. Just taking a quick look because I would have missed it on the broadcast screen, but it looks like Peter Kaspergen our only penalty so far today with a drive-through. Not seeing any others so far. I do have to say, Tom Foose is doing his best to hold his own, trying to catch up to Alex Nunez. Obviously, both these drivers having to make a pit stop before the end of this race. Their best times so far, Nunez holding an advantage there, 149.140 over Tom Foose, 149.305. But the point being is that gap hasn't really expanded a whole lot since Nunez got that P1 back from Tom. And seems to kind of be holding steady. So good on Foose. He's able to kind of get that same, very similar pace and hold on. The P2 right now, a 24-second gap over John Tracy. As drivers now start heading into the pits. So with that and it being pit stop time, I will take my quick break. Keep it right here, folks. We're going to keep eyes on everything that is going on in today's race. We are here for the next 41 minutes. Thank you so much for being here. Exclamation charity in the chat if you'd like to donate to Extra Life and Children's Miracle Network hospitals across the United States and Canada. If you're looking to join a great race league that's bringing this to you today, Box3 Motorsports, exclamation box in the chat will get you to our Discord. And if you are interested in live timing for today's event, exclamation point hit wall in the chat will let you watch live timing of today's race. Again, stick around. We are here for the entirety of this race. I will be right back. Sorry, Dado. I had stepped away for a few moments and couldn't answer your question. Yes, we are on PC today. As Maz told you in the chat. Alex Nunez continuing to lead this race. Now that gap's starting to open up a bit. Tom Foose about 6.6 back. As John Tracy continues to sit in third. Getting himself a nice little gap over Shooter in P4. 5 seconds now. So John having a great race today. Again, I've got to go back to Kopelman and Freud. I'm just going to use Harold and Sebastian because those are at least easy and TG doesn't get to yell at me for it. Although I'm sure Sebastian's wrong. I'm using the English pronunciation of that. As we watch him take his shot here, DJ Boxer out of the pits, getting passed up by Huffman, Harold, and Sebastian. And one more time, T1 is the crux. Harold Kopelman able to hold on to this lead, but Sebastian Freud and Kevin Huffman. Huffman up the outside and just blasting around both of them. Holy cow, look at him go. Huffman making a rip right there as Wangle Snatcher heads into the pits. Welcome in, Dado. Appreciate you being here. First time chatting. Thanks for joining us. Kopelman and Freud with a little bit of contact back there, but Kevin Huffman just blasting around both of them to get himself back into the top 10. Pit stop cleared. He's ready to rock and roll for the rest of this race. Just about to the halfway mark, 35 minutes left to go. Now Kopelman with DJ Boxer to contend with. Breaking up the rivalry that has been Kopelman and Friend during this race. And there Alex Nunez now into the pits for his mandatory stop. Tires and fuel today. DJ Boxer making quick work of Kopelman and Freund as well. Now pulling up to P11. 4 seconds up to Kevin Huffman. That pass last lap by Huffman around both these guys was just unbelievable. Shooter now into the pits. And Alex Nunez back out. Very quick pit stop. 36.2 sitting. And 32.6 in and out. So one of our faster stops today. Robert Hepburn with a 34-second stop. Everybody else a good bit higher. Tom Foose, your current race leader with John Tracy Island Boy. John Island Boy Tracy. Sitting in second, but Nunez coming back out of the pits in fifth as Baratella takes up P6 over Shooter as Shooter gets out of the pits again. Shooter with a very quick pit stop, I think our fastest one today of 33.4 seconds. Tom Foose, our race leader, now into the pits. Now, how long does Nunez have to catch up? Let's keep an eye and see where this hashes out. So there you have it. Nunez is going to be able to take up P1 as Tom Foose just now heading back out of the pits. Nunez able to get around, take up P4 for now. Well, given the drivers in front of him all still need to pit, we should see Nunez take up P1 again. And the gap about the same, about a 5-second gap between Nunez and Foose. Taking a look at their pit stops. Foose a little quicker off the pit stops, so I'm surprised that gap didn't come down a little more. 33.4 in and out, so he's about a second slower than Nunez getting in and out of the pits. However, 3 seconds faster on the pit stop, or 2.5 seconds faster on the pit stop. That's interesting. Again, if you guys want to see this information, exclamation pit wall in the chat. We give you live timing for this race. Things now calming down a little bit after our pit stops. Only a few drivers left to take them. Harold and Sebastian still continue to run together, neither driver having pitted yet. John, Island Boy, Tracy, Jarrett Skinner, Rob Kesar all still needing to go into the pits today. I think John Tracy stays out just because he wants to lead, he wants to say he led the race for a lap or two. In all honesty. Sebastian and Harold continue to battle now. Sebastian in the number 68 car taking up E12. Question is for how long? And a new fastest lap from Alex Nunez, a race lap at under 149, a 148.895. 30 minutes now left to go. The way these two are racing, I wonder if they're just grinding SA, right? Like, they keep handing the position back and forth, both maintaining a very similar pace. 155.785 for Sebastian on his fastest, and a 155.562 for Harold Kopelman. Overall, you have to admit, just some fantastic racing we've had here today at Monza. Very, given Monza's reputation in ACC, very few incidents, at least any that were in as Jarrett Skinner heads into the pits now. As far as were race ending or anything like that, we saw a few. There are always a few, but overall, very clean racing today. Some excellent passes by multiple drivers. And all in vehicles that I think a lot of these guys are not used to driving, right? You don't see a ton of stuff with the Super Trofeo cars. Nobody really drives them. And, it's mostly GT3. We all know that. The point being is that, for a car that a lot of people are not going to be familiar with, I think we've seen some great driving today. Sebastian Freund up 7 spots on the day. Jarrett Skinner, Rob Kesar, both in the pits at this point. Skinner now back out. 33-second pit time. Very quick. Very quick. So the battle we're watching now between Harold Kopelman and Sebastian Freund, two of our only drivers to not yet pit today. I think they don't want to split up. Along with our race leader, Don Island Boy Tracy. And there he goes. John Tracy now into the pits. Alex Nunez will become our race leader once again. And now the gap back to Tom Foose behind Alex Nunez, about 7 seconds. You see there on your screen. Baratella, 29 seconds behind that. So Tracy should hopefully be able to get back out before Baratella can take up P3. There's Baratella on your screen now in the number 203 car. Tracy's still in the pit, so this is a long pit stop. And now he's coming out. But Baratella able to close that gap a lot. John Tracy back out in front, but only by about 3 seconds at this point. Now opening up to about 6. So John Tracy able to get out there and hold on to P3 just barely. But able to clear that spot and get it going on. Let's take a look at the position deltas for today to see how everyone's done. Tom Foose up 2, John Tracy up 4 spots on the day to claim P3 right now. Baratella still down 2 spots. But if you take a look back there in P12, Sebastian Freud, TG's gonna hit me in the face. Currently running in 12th, but up 7 spots on the day, probably having the best race of anybody out there. Alex Nunez, and now only up 6 because these two keep trading back and forth. And now Adams Kazmarski getting in between them. Oh, and Kopelman falling back into the pits now, going to make that stop. So that finally gets broken up, but now Sebastian going to have to deal with Kazmarski and Seb Liba, who both dropping. Seb Liba taking up the lead here. A little contact, but nothing too horrible. As Seb Liba takes up P12. Adams Kazmarski going to take up P13 over Sebastian Freud and Harold Kopelman. Breaking the action, I'm going to remind you folks, please come back and see us in 2 weeks. Trackalicious Sim Racing, Box3 Motorsports, and 949 Sim Racing coming together for the G33 Endurance Series, the sequel, for 6 hours at Suzuka. You're going to be able to watch that right here at Box3 Motorsports on twitch.tv. Back in January for 6 hours at Kyalami. You can catch that over at the Trackalicious Twitch channel. But you know who's going to cover Panorama. You're a regular viewer of this channel, you know it's going to be me, because I love watching drivers bounce across the mountain at Bathurst. We're coming back in February for a full 12-hour race at Mount Panorama. If you're an iRacing fan, we got iRacing at Box 3 coming back next week for the Charlotte Oval in the Dallara DW12. Please join us for that. A lot of fun if you are at all an iRacing person. We'd love to have you on track with us. We'll jump back to it. What's up, Red Rider? Thank you for being here, good sir. As Sebastian Freud finally heading into the pits, we'll catch up with our race leader, Alex Nunez. Let's just walk it through. Tom Foose currently in second. John Tracy with about a 5.5 second lead over Kaspar Baratella to hold on to podium right now. Tracy having a good run today. Jarrett Skinner in 5th. Tudor Shooter, the number 69 car, currently sitting in 6th right now. Humphrey Wangle Snatcher, one we haven't seen in a while, having a good race today in 7th. Robert Hepburn running in 8th at this point. This is not GT3 for Jitsu. These are the Super Trofeos. It's a spec race. Evos and Evo 2s. Rob Kesar, your number 9 runner right at this moment, and Kevin Huffman with a top 10 finish if he can hold on to the end. Get another one we haven't seen in a while. Down to just 22 minutes left to go in this race today. Again, folks, we're here for a good cause. Each and every time we're here between now and the end of the year, we are raising money for Extra Life, Children's Miracle Network hospitals in the United States and Canada. I would encourage you to support your favorite driver. We have a team of about 15 drivers, all looking to raise money for Extra Life this year for their local hospital. Click that link in the chat to take you where you need to be to see who you would like to support. But it's a team effort overall. Baratella losing position, sitting now on the side of the track. It is not a good place to be. Skinner and Shooter able to take up position, so Baratella... Did we lose? I think we lost Baratella with a disconnect. Since, yep, Baratella gone now, and I was unable to focus, so everybody jumps up. That is a shame. Baratella was having a great run trying to get back up there after some initial issues in front of this race. That jumps everybody up. DJ Boxer now sitting in the top 10 with a 22-second lead over Seb Libra. He can hold on. We'll finish in the top 10 today. Yeah, no idea, TG. Just up. He was parked. I kind of want to say it was a manual disconnect, just given the way he was parked on the track for a few minutes. He didn't just fly off into space in the middle of driving as we've seen in the past. So that looked very manual. So yeah, possibly a full fuel issue or a hardware issue. I think we've seen one other of those today. John Tracy clears back marker of Peter Kespergen. Oh, and Kevin Huffman yellow flag. Let's back up and see. We can catch what happened right there. And I've seen this. Listen, we've seen more than one of these cars hit that curb and throw a little shimmy into it, but obviously this time Huff not able to hold on to it, gets himself back into P10. DJ Boxer takes up P9. No doubt Huff very frustrated with that, but that curb we've seen several times today, these cars, where most of the time it's just a shimmy, a little back end shimmy, but I've caught it in the background a few times when we've been watching other drivers. And this time, Kevin Huffman not able to hold on to it. I will be curious to see if my favorites, number 17 and number 68, Harold Kopelman and Sebastian Freund, come back together. They're about a 2-second gap right now. But we've watched these two battle this entire race. Started out with 21 drivers today, now down to 16. Just under 18 minutes left to go today. Robert Hepburn now yellow flagged. Can we jump back and catch that one? Another curb as we come under the bridge. We can barely see it there, but there he is, getting slung around as the cameraman loses his mind. Points off into the dirt somewhere. I don't know what he's doing. Let's check in with Mr. Tom Foose. So Hepburn getting spun hard. Now back on track, but we did see some back end hit there. Hopefully he doesn't have to come in because now Rob Kesar has closed the gap up to about 2 seconds. Another thing to look at today, Adam Kazmarski, Peter Kesbergen, Justin Sacombe, all with drive-through penalties during the course of today's race. Kesar bringing that gap down slowly. Now down to about 1.3 seconds from the 1.8 it started at. We'll have to see what kind of launch Kesar gets out of Parabolica here because we just saw that drop to about 4/10. Not quite there, though. Hepburn going to hold on for now. This is where our action here is here in the last 15 minutes of this race. There it is. Kesar with the inside line going to take up P7 from Robert Hepburn. Just like that. As I said, we've seen a lot of this today. Some great passing. Some, you know, 3 wides into T1 that just ended up turning into... Right there's that shimmy. Did you see that shimmy? Let me go back. I want you guys to see that because that's where we saw Kevin Huffman lose it. Right here. Through this corner. Watch the back end of the 460 car. Right there. Just that little kick out. What we've seen several times today. Between those two odd corners back there. And it's caught more than one driver out today. Who couldn't quite keep it to a shimmy. Justin Sacombe quite slow on track, letting the faster driver through. Checking up with Alex Nunez, our race leader right now. Alex definitely with the heavy pace today. I don't have my pit wall up, but exclamation pit wall in the chat if you'd like to look at it. Look at the shimmy. I'm telling you, Red, I saw it all day today. Just a little shimmy. Till it's not a shimmy anymore, and it's a spin in a big old circle. Get back to Tom Foose, now opened up to about 11.4 seconds. Nunez with amazing pace on this circuit. You hit exclamation pit wall in the chat. You can check out the live timing and their average lap times. Another one doing well today, John Island Boy Tracy. Having a great run, currently sitting in 3rd. up 4 spots on the day. Jarrett Skinner up 1. And Shooter, the number 69 car, Tudor Shooter, up 1 spot today. That's your top 5 going into these last 12 minutes. Very impressive racing today from a lot of these drivers. Some of them new to Box 3. Some of them have been here for the year and a couple months that we've been operating. But from sitting here, really great racing today. No issues into T1, lap 1, none of that stuff that you would normally think of happening at Monza. Drivers keeping it very, very clean. I think did a great job today. Overall, just fantastic. Love coming out for this stuff. And that's why everybody that's watching now, you should come back in 2 weeks on Saturday, the 17th, for the 6-hour race at Suzuka. It's going to be a blast. Endurance races are always the best. Always, always the best. I mean, not only do you get 6 hours of racing, you know, driver swaps, everything that goes into that, the strategy behind it and all those things. You get 6, well, actually you get closer to, by the time practice and qual and everything's done, you like spend like 7 hours with me. Who wouldn't want to do that? I mean, other than my wife and kids and people I work with, but you get my point. It still stands. Who wouldn't want to do that? Come back. We're going to make it a party. So close to Christmas, we'll play holiday music. We're going to sit and have fun and watch a great race. Adam Kazmarski getting spun now. Not back far enough to catch it. So, but number 71 car thrown in a circle now. Currently sitting P14. Check in with Humphrey Wangle Snatcher. Another longtime Box 3 driver, but someone who's not around as often anymore. Really good to see him on track today and doing well, currently sitting in 6th. Great race from him as we come down to the final 10 minutes. Don't lie, Red. You'll come hang out. No, you will. At this point, drivers really spread around the track as we go on board with Tom Foose. Tom overall having a good day, up 2 spots from qual. Currently sitting in 2nd, going to take that podium if he can hold on. John Tracy sitting in 3rd right now. Getting up 4 spots on the day. Really can't complain a lot. So Seb Libra and Justin Sacombe now both into the pits. Oh, it looks like we've got drive-thrus to serve. I had to guess. Well, maybe not. Seb Libra back out, not showing a clear. Yep, there we go, penalty clear. No, on Justin Sacombe. Justin Sacombe for number 65. So Seb Libra not pulling a penalty, but Justin Sacombe now with his 2nd drive-through on the day. Yeah, very naughty. Respect those track limits. They will get you. every time. Folks, don't run away after the race. Stick around a little bit for me, please. We're going to talk about what's coming up, and we're going to go throw a raid over at another league that I think is some good folks. Well, again, stick around. I want to enjoy it with you. I don't know how many Americans, and maybe you don't have to be American to know this, but something I learned today that I didn't realize. My wife has never watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I about lost my mind and wanted to see if on Sundays there was a place I could get divorce papers. Because if you haven't seen Rudolph, like, what's up with that? I didn't realize that, or I would have shown it to her years ago, but I didn't know she hadn't seen Rudolph. I know she's seen Frosty. We've watched it together. But who hasn't seen Rudolph? I'm saying, Nicor. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you see where I might be a little upset today? And then I had to come here and broadcast this race knowing that information because I found out literally right before the broadcast started. My disappointment, I could taste the disappointment in my mouth as we started this broadcast today. Insane. Klopelman and Freud, again, back here in the back, might be coming back together. The gap's tightening up a little bit. As Marsky showing off track. Gets spun back up. Oh, and what was that? Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. What was that crazy? And of course, there's no camera we can drive. It looked like Sacombe came up on him. And he just wasn't paying attention. Like Kazmarsky just wasn't paying attention. And now is sliding all over the track. It's time to be done, bud. Time to be done. Damage is just horrendous. Look at that car. Please don't cut over now. Please don't. Oh my Lord. Woo, that about got. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Little action here at the end of the race, folks, as Marsky heads into the pits. I don't know what his rush was to get to the pits. Obviously had a ton of damage, right? Ton of damage. What? Oh, wow. That's what it looks like. Yeah, he was rejoining after the incident, didn't realize how much damage he had because it was obviously too much to be able to drive, and came into the racing line without looking. And then once he realized where he was, tried to dive out of the way. Ooh, that got sketchy at the end, didn't it? Got spicy Monza today, guys. Wow. Whoa, unbelievable. 3.5 minutes left to go here at Monza today. Alex Nunez continues to lead this race. Nunez with amazing pace today. The spicy Monza ball is right. Holy cow, right there at the end of the race. That was nuts. Sebastian Freund showing yellow flag. Must have gotten pulled off a little bit out there. And some great driving today. John Tracy finishing, looking to finish in third with 2.5 minutes left to go. Humphrey Wangle Snatcher, first time back in a long time. Currently sitting in sixth. Kevin Hoffman with a top 10 finish if he can hold on to it. Doesn't get any more shimmy, shimmy, yaw, shimmy, yam, shimmy, yay going on. Rob Kesar. Again, a guy out of his element today, right? Normally a Porsche driver. Sitting in these Super Trofeos today. Rob Kesar finishing in 7th, so can't complain about that one bit. Up 4 spots from where he started after today's qualifying. Arzy, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. I apologize for not saying something earlier. We don't put splashes or anything up on the stream because we were trying to keep it for, you know, focused on the race. But I did notice the message over there, so thank you for that. Much appreciated. DJ Boxer showing yellow, and there he is off into the dirt. Once again, we're seeing, much like last week at Bathurst, we're seeing a lot of drivers here towards the end of the race pushing hard and self-inciting. Oh, and Kevin Huffman's yellow flagged as well. Let's see if we can find him. Yeah, he is. Back that up. Oh, yeah. Look at that. We're going to watch him sit for 10 seconds. Still in 10th place. Hopefully can hold on. Only a minute to go. Front of that car is not looking healthy, though. He obviously had impact. I'm saying, Nightcore, it's going crazy here at the end of the race. And the worst is, I mean, look at the spacing between the drivers. If you look at the tower and you look at how much time is between each of these drivers, nobody right now has to push. Because you're not catching anybody, right? And you're also not being caught with 34 seconds left to go. What's with the push? Take a breath, my man. Chill. You'll be all right. Let's catch up with Alex Nunez as the race rolls to an end. This should be his last lap. Nunez going to claim today's winner. Top spot, sitting on the podium. And there it is, Alex Nunez, the winner of today's Matadors Monza. A grid full of 21 at the start. 21 drivers in Super Trofeo Lamborghinis. Alex Nunez, Tom Foose in second. Let's check in on John Tracy. As John Tracy takes the podium in P3, Alex Nunez, Tom Foose, and John Island Boy Tracy are your podium sitters today for the race. DJ Boxer in 9th. Kevin Huffman with that top 10 finish coming across in 10th. Jarrett Skinner picking up P4. Tudor Shooter still out on track. Tudor Shooter. Still out there, but we will finish out. Tudor Shooter comes across in P5. As Wangle Snatcher makes one more trip around Parabolica. In P6, Kesar now looking to finish out in P7. Robert Hepburn will be your P8 finisher. That is your top 10. Overall, great driving today. There are always going to be incidents, right? Even after the race, these guys are going to apparently baff each other from time to time. Point being, there are always going to be some incidents. But overall today, it's such a great race. These guys did a fantastic job. And again, vehicles that they are not accustomed to. Nobody runs these Super Trofeos, right? Nobody runs these Super Trofeos. So the fact that we had such a clean race at Monza in these cars, I think is a good thing. I think it's fantastic. Why not? We had a good time. 70 minutes at Monza. Thank you everybody so much for joining me. I very much appreciate it. Again, don't forget, come back in 2 weeks on Saturday, December 17th. Okay? December 17th, we are going 6 hours at Suzuka. You can watch that all right here at Box3 Motorsports. And as I said, please stick with me because we are going to raid SOP Motorsports Great league. They do a lot of good stuff, a lot of great races. If you're interested, by all means, ask them how, and we'll go with that. But anyway, stick around, guys. Let's go raid them, okay? And have a great day, a great weekend. Have a great week, and we're back in just under 2 weeks on Saturday, December 17th for that 6 hour. Thank you so much to everybody. Thank you to the drivers, and you guys have yourselves a great week.
caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones